thumbnail, but I don't even look ready. I just look like a mess. Get ready with me, and then this is what I look like. Like, not a great selling point, I would say. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. I just thought I would film a get ready with me. A few of you guys have been asking about my beauty routine. It's not much. I'm definitely not a beauty vlogger, but I just thought it would be fun to get ready and just do a little chatty video. So I asked you guys on Instagram if there's anything you want me to talk about, any topics, so I'm going to go through those. Drink some coffee. I just got back from a workout, so I just kind of put my hair in a braid. I think I can get my hair to last one more workout, so I didn't wash it today. Okay, so I just bought this moisturizer last night because Sephora was having a 15% off sale, so that's very rare for them, so I took advantage of it. I've been wanting to get a moisturizer for a long time. I keep getting like samples of them. Thought I would just pull the trigger and commit to something. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench Cloud Cream Hydrating Moisturizer. So it's super lightweight. I'll show you the consistency. I put this on this morning, so my face is hydrated, I think. This pimple right here, it was a blackhead, and then I popped it, and then it turned into a pimple. And it's like one of those that kind of like you popped it, but you can kind of feel the pus regrowing underneath the skin, and like it's gonna for sure need another pop. Okay, enough about pimples. I'm gonna start by priming my face. I use e.l.f. This stuff's super cheap, and it's just their tone adjusting face primer. Get it at like Target. Okay, let me pull up something to talk about. Someone asked, am I excited to move in May? I feel like you'll be by the seaside. I don't know why. Well, if you're watching this video, I'm going to give you a little hint, and this is the only hint I'm going to be giving onto where I'm moving, but it will be closer to the ocean, so your feelings are correct, and I am very excited to move, although I'm trying to stay present in where I am because I can get kind of fixated on my future sometimes and exciting things that are coming that I kind of forget to enjoy the moment here and where I'm at now. So I'm very excited to move, but I'm trying not to let my brain get ahead of myself. Foundation I'm using today is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. I just got this last night as well. Some other ones I've used. This is a good drugstore one. This is the L'Oreal Infalli, I can't say it, 24-hour fresh wear. So if you want like a good drugstore, I just have these ones when I have my fake tan on, so they're a little bit darker. I will say these are super thick, so I'm not like loving the consistency of it. Like, it does feel like you're wearing makeup. Another one I use is the Tarte Multitasking Foundation, and this one is for when I'm a little bit more pale, and this one is definitely more lightweight, so I would recommend. But today we're using this one. I just got it last night. I have used it before and I enjoy it. A couple more questions about moving. Someone asked, how did you know it was time to move? So I'm going to use my beauty blender. I usually honestly just take it and just like rub it all over my face, but that's a little aggressive. I knew it was time to move. I guess my decision to move was pretty spontaneous. I was nearing the end of my lease in Arizona, and my roommate wanted to leave. She wanted to move to another state, and I didn't have any friends at the time who needed a roommate. So I was kind of just like in this middle ground of life where I was like, what the heck should I do? Me being me, I'm very spontaneous, and I was just like, you know, maybe I'll just move back to Illinois for the summer. You know, save some money, enjoy the city. That was kind of like my plan. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Illinois, escape the heat in Arizona, and just like go home, spend time with family, maybe stay 3 months, and then figure out what I want to do from there. So that was kind of, I just felt peace about it. But then, then I got ahead of myself and was like, you know, if I'm going to be home saving money, like, what could I use this money for? Because your girl doesn't like saving. And then I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to go to this place where I'm moving to, that I'm not telling you guys yet. How cool would it be if I went home, saved a bunch of money, and moved to this place? I think it would be just dandy. And one of my friends asked me, she was like, oh, cool, like, is that where God's telling you to go? And I was like, no, that's where I'm telling myself to go. But God hasn't told me no. So that's kind of how it started. I just got the idea. I knew it was time to move, I guess, to answer your question, when I was not growing any longer. I felt very stagnant in Arizona. I love Arizona. I love the people there. I love my friends there. But I just wasn't being challenged, and I wasn't growing or pushing myself out of my comfort zone at all. And so that's when I really knew there was needed to be some kind of change, because I just felt very stagnant. So if you're feeling stagnant right now, maybe that is a sign that you haven't done anything to scare yourself in a while. And I think scaring ourselves and challenging ourselves to grow is so important. At the beginning, I just felt like it was my idea and it wasn't God's idea. But I also was like, you know, God hasn't told me no. So, and then things kind of just started unfolding that really aligned with where I wanted to move. Just opportunities were opening. Got an awesome job where I'm making great cash. I got another awesome opportunity that I could potentially take with me to where I'm moving. So I feel like God just started opening doors. And anytime I wanted to kind of allow my plans to settle here in Illinois, I just kept hearing God say, like, nope, you need to go to where I'm moving to. So at first it just felt like my idea, but now I feel like God is really behind it and he's going to do something really cool with it. So next thing I use, the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer. Someone wants to know about friendships ending badly or when a friend betrays you. So I've had friends betray me in my past. What are we using here? The Morphe M438. It's like a tapered brush. When I was in high school, two of my best friends did some stuff that really felt like betrayal, because they were doing it with my ex-boyfriend. Not it like having sex, but just things happen that left me feeling very betrayed. And what I did was I held on to that resentment. And about 6 months later, maybe a year later, I ended up hitting my friend in the face one night. This is like something I'm most embarrassed and ashamed of. I actually physically hit my friend. I wouldn't go as far to say I punched her. Maybe I did punch her. Well, guess we're just sharing that with the world, Kian. Okay. Well, anyways, I held on to the resentment and I ended up physically hurting her in the future, and we both felt just like so terrible about it. Like I was like sobbing, and I was at a lake house and I made my mom come drive 2 hours to pick me up, and I was literally hiding from her. It was quite the situation. But I share this with you because you need to forgive them. And that doesn't mean you need to be friends with them, but holding on to the resentment of what they did is only going to harm you and potentially them physically in the future. Take the space and separation you need. I'm not saying you need to trust them again or let them into your life, but just know that their actions are not stemming from the true form and person that God created them to be. Listen, I've held on to a lot of resentment in my life, and it has only hurt me and left me trapped in so many different situations. So forgiveness, I think, is the key to happiness. Betrayal, cheating, whatever it is, like if you can learn to forgive, and again, I'm not saying to let them back in your life or to get back together with them or be friends with them again. I'm just saying you need to find forgiveness. So clearly, if you're asking this question, you're still very hurt by what they did. And I would just encourage you to pray for forgiveness, pray that God softens your heart, and just really try to see them through God's eyes instead of your own. I kind of just got this download from God about my ex-boyfriend who had cheated on me, and I had a lot of resentment towards him. And it was kind of like, if they're not under the influence of Jesus, that means they're under the influence of the world and the devil. And therefore, how can I blame them for anything? Like, I can't, because they're not being influenced by God, because if they were, they wouldn't be making those decisions. And therefore, I'm not here to pick sides with me and other humans. Like, that's not how this battle works. I'm here to take side with God and everybody on this earth and fight against the devil. So by me getting mad at them, I'm not picking their side. I'm not choosing them. I'm not trying to see them through God's eyes. I'm literally just making them my enemy. But really, the real enemy is the devil. So, I don't know if that answers your question. Bronzer, I kind of just do here. And then I also kind of do it up here. And then my double chin is a little bit more prominent these days, so I kind of put it under here to give me more of a defined neckline. Next thing I do is I take this concealer from Sephora. This is really, really bringing me back. What is this? This is the Bright Future. And I literally just put the tiniest amount. I don't really know what I'm doing, honestly. And then if I have a pimple, I'll put it on it. But this pimple kind of blends in with my lips, so I'm not going to put any makeup on it. Advice on taking yourself on a date. She always gets nervous about being alone in public. You know, that's so interesting. I wonder why you get nervous when you're out in public alone. Because I think there's a reason for everything. So if you can think back to when that started for you in your childhood or in your teenage years, what exactly, like, what was the event that made you feel unsafe or not confident being somewhere alone? Like, were you at your 8th grade dance and you didn't have anyone to talk to? Were you in cafeteria when you were in 3rd grade and didn't have anyone to sit with? There are things that happen to us that create those fears. So that's just a sidetrack note, but if you can go back and figure out why exactly you are afraid of it, sometimes that helps dissolve the fear. But if you can't pinpoint it, that's fine. Some tips. I always go back to Sarah's Day's motto, and it's act confident and no. Okay, we took a little bit of an intermission because my camera died. But I think what I was saying is that if you act confident, no one will question you. So that is one thing. Just act confident, stand there with pride. If you're taking yourself on a date, do an activity that involves something to begin with, I guess, like bring a book to read, or go ice skating, or go rollerblading, or something along those lines where you kind of have something to look at or do while you're there. So like if you're going out to eat, bring a book with you to read. If you haven't seen my vlog where I went to go see Viral the musical, I will say that it's not always easy. And if you go watch that vlog, you will see my experience going to a musical alone with all of these Instagram celebrities, and it really shook my confidence and just made me feel really, I guess, insecure. And sometimes you just kind of have to allow yourself to feel those things. And through that experience, I kind of grew and realized things that I wanted to grow in myself and work on, and kind of what has happened in my past to kind of bring up those emotions. Go watch that video, because I will say it's not always perfect. It's not always easy. Sometimes I'm not confident in these situations, but I still choose to put myself in them, because that's how we grow. And sometimes growing is very uncomfortable, and that's okay. So the next thing we're going to do are the brows. I actually have my eyebrows microbladed. My eyebrows used to be very thin and just like no shape to them, and I am so grateful that I got them microbladed every single day of my life, because it just makes my life easier. I actually could use a touch-up, so I have to go in with an eyebrow pencil. This is from e.l.f. It's literally $2 from Target. It's the Instant Lift Brow Pencil. They have another one that's a little bit more thin if you want thinner strokes, and that one's $5. So I kind of just use this, since it is a bit thicker. Whoops. I kind of just use it to like fill in where my microblading is faded. I've used Anastasia, and I've used all like the high-end eyebrow stuff. And honestly, the e.l.f., I think it's the Precision Brow, works just as good as like the $20 eyebrow pencils. So there's a boy in high school who believes in God but doesn't go to church, and she thinks she likes him. What to do? So go watch some of the Christian dating Q&As, especially the one I did with my friend Ryan and Lorraine. I think it was like the first Christian dating one I've ever posted. And Ryan says something very profound in it. If you are attracted to someone who doesn't have Jesus in them, or has Jesus at the center of their lives, that is saying more about you and where you're at in your faith than it is about them. And essentially, it's like, why are you attracted to someone who doesn't have Jesus at the center of their life? So I've asked myself, and like, I don't say this to shame you, because I've had to ask myself this question too. If I'm attracted to people who do not have Jesus at the center of their lives, then I'm not close enough to Jesus. Because as I have, what am I doing? As I have gotten closer, I can't really talk and do this part. As I have gotten closer to God, people who don't have God in their lives aren't attractive anymore. I find myself like, yeah, physically, you're hot. Everything else, not so much. And I could never see myself with someone like that. So I think what you should do is check in with yourself and be like, why am I attracted to this person if they don't love God? And kind of take that as a sign that maybe you need to spend more time with God, or whatever it is. Pray about it. See what God says. Someone who believes in God and actually acts upon it are two very different things. I can believe in a lot of things, but does that mean I'm actually living it out, practicing what I hear preach, but like I don't even hear it preach because I don't go to church? I'm trying to find a good comparable example of this. I believe in Santa Claus. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just gonna drop it. But yeah, just be very careful. I would not get involved, and I would just not even entertain the idea, because you're gonna go down a slippery slope of falling for them when at the end of the day they don't have that same center as you. I would recommend making a list of your non-negotiable qualities. Without him in mind, just make a list. When you're out of a relationship, when you have no crushes, just make a list of what you really want. Like, if you could design your husband and send up your request to Jesus, and Jesus and God are like collaborating to make this man, write down your order, sister. write down your order, and then have like at least five qualities that are non-negotiable, like they need to have this. And then the rest can just be fun stuff like light eyes and blonde hair. But have some non-negotiables, and then every guy you meet moving forward, if they don't have your non-negotiables, say thank you next. And one of those non-negotiables, I'm telling you right now, is they love Jesus. That should be your number one non-negotiable. So now I have my list, and when I meet this little man who comes along in my life and he's like, yo, I'm cute girl, you're a cute girl, what should we do? And I'm gonna be like, does this guy love Jesus? Does he match up with my non-negotiables that I listed before I met him? Because girls will change their standards as different guys come into their lives. So be aware, have your standards set before you meet these people, and have a friend who knows your non-negotiables, who can check you. Okay? Like, have a friend who can be like, hey, I have a crush on this guy, and she'll be like, well, let's refer back to your list. You said you wanted A, B, C, D, E, and F. Does he have A? No. Does he have B? No. Does he have C? Yes. But does he have E and F and G? No. Okay, I'm getting really dramatic, and I just threw my... Okay, anyways, I've just been using all these e.l.f. products on my eyebrows. I bought this Wow Brow. It's kind of like a tinted brow brush, and I kind of just swiped it through there. Not the biggest fan of it, but it was probably like a couple bucks. Then I got this clear mascara for my brows, which was also $2. So I'm just gonna kind of swipe my brows, keep them in place. I have this curling iron from Tweezerman is the brand. I need to clean it, so don't judge me. Is there a special technique you guys use to curl your lashes? Like, do you do it before, after? Do you hold down? How long do you hold down for? Next, mascara. I use a white mascara primer, and let me tell you, it's game changer. This one is from L'Oreal. It's a drugstore. So I found it very effective. And I will show you just the difference this makes. The primer has made them so much longer. Then I'm going to go on with this I can't pronounce these words. Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. I usually use their just voluminous one, but I saw that they released this one, so I thought I'd give it a try. And let me tell you, I actually like it better than the one I was using before. I wish they had it in like a black brown instead of just black, but maybe one day. Look at that. Oh, my legs are falling asleep. How to start a Christian clothing line and where to begin. Well, I have wanted to start many online stores in my life, so I have done lots of research. As you can see, I do not have a clothing line, but you can kind of go about it in a couple ways. If you want your design like custom printed stuff, then a great way to start is by using drop shipping. And there are companies like Printed Mint. You basically upload your design, you pick what t-shirt you want it on, and they will print out your design and send it to your customers as they order. This way you don't have any inventory, and it's literally like basically made to order. I really love Printed Mint, and that is what I will be using for my products to start with. Otherwise, you kind of need to have money to invest in it, to order the blanks, to get them screen printed, to package, ship, market, photograph. So that's like a whole nother thing. And if you want like custom shirts, you have to work with like a printmaker and a designer. So I find if you just kind of want to start something for fun, I would use a company like, I'll have them popping up right now, but design a shirt or whatever the product is, upload it into there, send yourself one, take photos of it. Sometimes I would even order like a blank and then I'll Photoshop on whatever design. Like if I'm selling a mug and I have a few different mug designs, I'll order a blank mug, photograph the blank mug, and then Photoshop the different designs on it. There was this course that I took called Launch Your Shop. If it's still available, I will link it below, but that was the best investment for me because I learned so much on how to kind of launch an online store without having much like investment or anything in it. You know, once I do finally launch my shop, I think I'll definitely make videos on how I started it. And now I'm ready. So this is the final look. It is just a very natural, chill, yeah, nothing fancy. Like really not impressive. Yeah, thumbnail, but I don't even look ready. I just look like a mess. Get ready with me, and then this is what I look like. Like not a great selling point, I would say. And we're gonna pretend like we're putting on makeup. This is so cheesy. Okay. I feel like this should be my thumbnail. Are my lips not big enough for this? This is getting out of hand. Okay, well I hope you guys enjoyed this video, getting ready with me and having a little chat. I really enjoyed it. It just felt like I was talking to a friend on the phone, and they're just like a really good listener. So I appreciate you guys being very good listeners. And I will see you guys in my next video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to know what you guys want to see on my channel, so leave a comment below and subscribe.